all day. That's what he did. Sit there looking out the window, smoking. And he had the typical yellow fingers, a little yellow over here, and smoking. That's what he did. So the idea is not, oh my God, just looking at this guy, what can he do? Left. This makes sense, doesn't it? The answer is no. There's nothing left. Let's take a look at this. So thanks for getting this going. You know, Steve bailed me out. He got the mouse working. Now, it's very interesting because now we're going to do a transferable skills analysis. And so here's what happened. Now his reasoning ability went from here to here. Yeah, this is where he was, but this is where he is now. So look at this. Right now he can, remember I told you about shooting marbles? Reasoning is how you shoot your marbles. Intelligence is the marble count. So he can understand and carry out detailed but uninvolved written or oral instructions, deal with problems involving a few concrete variables. So in other words, he can refer to some standard that lets him know what he did was okay or not okay. All right? So, but then we've got some other issues here. So part of an issue that we have here is that he doesn't want to do any of this stuff beyond 30 days to 3 months of training. And now I'm going to introduce some stuff in the game. There are codes called work field codes. Work field codes describe the ing words of what you can do. Twisting, testing, soldering, clipping, cutting. If it's an ing word, that's what that 3-digit code means. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to close this for a minute, and we're going to go back over here, and we're going to see what does a work field code mean. And a work field is how things get done. So fabricating, installing, repairing, abrading, installing, plugging in, stringing, switching, testing, threading, turning, calibrating, connecting, what? 3-digit code covers all those ing words. Okay? Now, the other code we're going to look at is materials, products, subject matter, services. And what this simply does is talk about the knowledge base of the job. Machinery or apparatus and supplies for the generation, storage, transmission, transformation, or utilization of electrical energy. So what we're doing, remember I'm a counselor, I'm not a, but see this is useful to me because I can begin to take all this and I can begin to see, is there anything you could do? Are we missing anything here? Okay, so now when we go over here, what we're able to do is take these two codes. So there's the ing words right there. And there is the materials, products, subject matter, services. So categorically, instead of using 3 digits, I can use 2 digits because this means anything with electricity going through it is fair game. And now, physical restrictions. He's got some restrictions. So he can only do sedentary and light work, which means he can lift a maximum of 20 pounds. He can't lift any more than that. He can't do any climbing, balancing, stooping, crawling, crouching. He slipped, and when he slipped and fell, he hit his neck on a chair, and this created a little bit of a problem for him, permanently. So in addition to psychotropic medication, this gentleman is taking medication for pain. And so, environmental conditions, he cannot work outside, he cannot be exposed to cold, so he can't. We can use personality in here too, because what we're able to do is say, you notice it says do not, so what we're able to say is, he is not in any position to control the work of other people, feelings is not good, influencing other people, no judgment, dealing with people but he can do repetitive work, not working under stress. He can do precise work, because when you think about doing precise work, you've got a meter, you've got a gauge, you've got some measurement that tells you exactly you did it right or you didn't. Right? Kind of like the humidifier in your house that tells you when it's time to change those expensive filters that you just installed. He can work alone, and he can do things under specific instructions, so we got his personality in here. We just built the profile of somebody who installed mainframe computers, printers, plotters, check sorting machines, and can't do this anymore. But wants to see is there something he could do using his residual abilities. Okay? Now, the computer doesn't take away anything as far as our counseling. There's plenty of room here for counseling and talking about job placement and so forth, conduct in an interview and so on. I mean, it's all there. All this is doing is saving us some time and allowing us to be more thorough. Probably one of the things that affected me as a practitioner more than anything else was one of my graduate instructors in a clinical course who said, think about what you're doing. If somebody else was rendering that service to you, or your mother, or your sister, or somebody else you cared about, would you stand for it? So I often think about this, that would I want somebody to take shortcuts with me? No. I'd want you to look at every possibility. And so that's what we're doing here. This is not taking away anything from us. It's actually allowing us to be more thorough. So let's take a look. Now, by the way, one of the things we can actually do, because in some insurance cases, in some workman's comp cases and others, you have to set a minimum wage to look at. So what happens here is we could actually say no jobs below $7 an hour in the state of Michigan at the no experience level. We're not going to do that here. We don't have to do that, but you can do that in here. See, so each of these data cells represents something that we can take a look at. All right? So what we're going to do is we're going to search this, and we're going to see if we can come up with anything for this individual, and hopefully we can.